Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you've been around for my last few, then you know that I love talking about food and sharing food content. So today I have another really fun video for you guys. It is a unboxing haul, and not just any unboxing haul, but a food one, of course. We have HelloFresh. It is a meal prep service. I've had their boxes before. They send you ingredients and recipe cards that you can just follow. These are the recipes I got. I have a steak recipe, and then you can tell on the back they generally kind of show you with photos and kind of step-by-step how to prep the recipes. Generally they're pretty easy to follow, and the time can take anywhere between, honestly, depending on the recipe, 20 minutes to like 40-ish minutes or so, which isn't bad, I would say. And then I see here they have kind of like a coupon envelope, like just including some coupons and discounts to other services and businesses. And then there's also a note for Kind Energy bars. So I'm assuming they're gonna give like a little freebie, maybe Kind Energy bar or something. So the most exciting part, it is time for the unboxing. I'm just gonna flip this. Actually, let me flip this around so it's easier for you guys to see. I have 3 boxes here, and they're all labeled by the recipe for the ingredients. Okay, let me pop this down. And then on the very bottom, I do see the Kind Energy bar, which I mentioned as the potential freebie. Chocolate chunk flavored. And underneath this ice pack are the proteins for these dishes. So I have the steaks and the pork made to go with the recipes.
So now let's get cooking. Our first recipe that we're going to try out is the sweet soy glazed steak tacos with spicy slaw, marinated cucumbers, and peanuts. Everything you see here was included in the bag. I got 3 recipes, and each of them have enough food ingredients for 2 portions. So first I'm going to move everything over to the side, clear up the space, and I'm going to first wash the cucumber and start chopping. Let's not look too closely at my horrible chopping skills, so we're going to speed through that. We're going to try to stay organized here, so I'm just going to put all the cucumbers into a bowl. And I actually ended up using a different lime, an older lime I already had in the fridge. It looks a little bit butchered here because I actually zested it for another recipe. I've learned from testing a lot of recipes that really the key to good cooking is a lot of heart, a lot of soul, and salt, pepper. I'm honestly surprised by how much of a big difference salt and pepper makes to a whole recipe. I'm going to give this a good mix in this bowl here, and then I'm going to let it sit to the side to marinate for a little bit. And then the next part of the instructions, it says to make the coleslaw. Usually I am not this organized. Trust me, when I'm done with the kitchen, it looks like a tornado ran through it. So I'm trying to keep things as neat as possible right now. I'm going to throw the mayonnaise in, and then I'm going to add all of the chili sauce. I really like that all the items and ingredients are already pre-portioned, so there's no need for measuring out, anything like that. It's mostly just washing and cutting. If you haven't had chili sauce before, it's almost like a tangy, spicy, yet sweet, savory sauce. I'm going to add in the coleslaw. Coleslaw here is just the purple cabbage and carrots. Of course, now we want to mix it up so that everything's distributed evenly. The coleslaw is nicely coated. And then, as usual, the magic ingredients of salt and pepper. Give it a little good mix again, and we're good with the coleslaw. Now I'm going to move that to the side, and I need to get back on the chopping board. Because the instructions now say we gotta roughly chop those peanuts. And roughly chop, I did. So we're going to pretend that I only took 2 seconds to roughly chop all these peanuts. Now we're going to move them to the side. Now it's time for my favorite part. We're going to drizzle a bit of olive oil in a pan, let that warm up a little bit, And now we're gonna drop in the meat. Steak was already pre-cut in the package. All I really had to do was drop it in while the oil's hot and kind of separate them before it cooks so that it's not clumpy. We're gonna break up the meat a little bit more, cook it through a little bit longer. And now I'm gonna also add in a sweet soy glaze, which honestly tastes exactly as what it sounds like. A sweet, almost like a savory soy-based sauce. Look at that glisten, look at that shine. All right, again, with this magical salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna set it aside. And now we have all of the main ingredients prepped and ready to assemble. We got our tortillas, roughly chopped peanuts, marinated cucumbers, and the coleslaw. So first, I have my 3 little tortillas here. I did end up making 6, but one portion was about 3, and surprisingly, it's enough. Plop in the meat. Then we're gonna drop in some of those coleslaw and cucumbers, and then finally the peanuts. It doesn't look like a crazy amount of food, but it's perfect for a good sized meal. You're not full to the brim, but you're honestly not starving afterwards either. I'd say it's a pretty balanced amount of food. And here's a nice little montage close-up. The recipe says that it takes about total time 25 minutes, but it took me a little bit longer than that since I was both recording and handling the recipe on my own. Next, we have the brown sugar and bourbon pork chops recipe with apple pan sauce, scallion mashed potatoes, and roasted green bean. I have the potatoes started up, and now I'm just seasoning the pork chops. I have to admit, I'm usually not a huge fan of pork chops because the ones I've had tend to be pretty dry and not that great in flavor. But I really am excited about this because their bourbon seasoning smells really good, and it seems to pack an intense punch. And I know looks can be deceiving, but honestly, with the intensity of how the seasoning looks, I'm expecting a delicious smoky flavor. Now I'm going to set that aside and start with the rest of the prep work. So this one is pretty straightforward for green beans. I'm just going to put a drizzle of oil in there, mix it up with some salt and pepper. And the recipe does say to put it in the oven, but since in my experience, air fryers tend to be a little bit faster, and I get super impatient when I'm hungry, so I'm just gonna toss in the air fryer. The sound of lunch sizzling is the absolute best. And success! At least I didn't burn the pork chops. I would say that's a nice, crisp top. I'm gonna need a few takes to flip this, and success! Meanwhile, please observe this poor transition and speed through of me chopping apples. We're going to start making our sauce by heating up some butter and oil. I'm going to drop in the apples here, give it a little good mix, soften them a little bit. Add the white scallions, of course, magical salt and pepper. And then a little bit of the chicken stock concentrate. Everything's really starting to come together now and it smells amazing. I would have never thought to put scallions and mix it with butter, oil, and apples, but I think it works. I just added some water and now I'm just simmering to reduce the liquid in the pan for a little bit. Oh, forgot to mention, I did have mash cooking on the side. So here you go, nothing too exciting there. Threw the pork chop in for a little bit of a finish at the end, and we're done. I love how the green beans turned out. They turned out nicely crispy. The pork was super juicy and flavorful too. The last recipe we're gonna try is the seared steak with demi reduction served with garlic mashed potatoes and honey roasted carrots. Of the 3, I would say this is the simplest dish, but pretty straightforward and easy to do. I had the beef cooking in a skillet to hopefully get more of a sear. I was also attempting to multitask by having the scallions and butter cooked and start my sauce in one pan and starting the potatoes in the other. Super easy and straightforward. I threw the carrots in the air fryer and voila! dinner was ready. All in all, this was a pretty awesome experience. I love that everything was portioned out, and I would definitely try HelloFresh again. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. If you have ideas for my next video, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Bye.